The author Christopher Ryan argues that wealth affects us in surprising and complicated ways. Wealthy people, it is suggested, have a harder time connecting with others, showing less empathy to the extent of dehumanising those who are different from them. Now, he argues, this writer, there is a sense of entitlement and alienation from others that comes with having wealth. Again, a slightly different take on the story about spending money in better than elsewhere because of the Black Friday sales. Look, do you have to be, if you are wealthy, if you have money, do you have to be charitable? Do you have to be generous? And does it make you an unpleasant person? Who can we bring into this conversation? None other than the economist and wealth advisor, Jonathan Davis. Jonathan, good afternoon to you.
Hi, Rob, and happy Thanksgiving.
Stop it now. We don't do American stuff here. Jonathan, welcome to the programme. Does having money make you heartless?
Well, have you ever been to a reading of a will? It's amazing how terms of a will can, being read out, can affect people's persona, especially when they think that certain benefits have been made unfairly. It's astonishing how money, in that situation particularly, can create great difficulties within families. In general terms, I personally find that if you have made money through your own efforts, perhaps through business, particularly, and you've built it over quite a long period, then you're actually probably more generous because you know where you came from, you know what you've had to go through, how difficult it's been. Whereas if everything is just lavished on you from quite a young age, then I think, yes, there's more likelihood that you might treat other people with a bit more disdain, unfortunately.
There was a great story this week following the sad death of the chef Gary Rhodes. There was a chef who trained with Gary Rhodes, who did his early apprenticeship with Gary. And when he left, he tweeted this after the sad news came out this week. Because when I was leaving, Gary gave him a signed copy of one of his cookbooks. As he left, but as he got home and he opened the book, he saw there was a signed note from Gary and then inside was £200, that's someone who's made money and being generous with it and being very philanthropic.
And that really doesn't surprise me because there is an extremely successful professional giving a little bit of a leg up to someone less successful who clearly Gary Rhodes appreciated. And that's a lovely little story. But money does make people do funny things if you haven't got it and if you have got it. And of course, it particularly affects family relationships. I mean, I kind of talked perhaps jokingly a little bit about will readings. But yes, within families particularly, where successful parents in their lives are gifting out before they die. If it's not absolutely equal, then that is going to create great problems within families. As to whether or not does money make you heartless, no, I think your own upbringing and your psychological experiences might do that, but not necessarily money itself.
Might the reality be, because we're all at different levels, of course, and life is just the way it is, of course, that if you've got very little money or no money, you've got problems. And actually, it might be hard to believe, if you've got a lot of money, that presents a whole new set of problems.
There's absolutely no question that a lot of money creates lots of problems. There was a chap on I'm a Celebrity, Get Out of Here talking about this last week. I was watching it with my kids, and he was saying, I'm just recently famous and successful, and when people approach me to become my, quote, friend, unquote, or perhaps potentially a girlfriend, I don't know what they're really interested in. Are they interested in me, or are they interested in my fame or my money? It's very, very difficult. And the more money you have, the more, fun enough, the more lawyers you have to have. and also perhaps the more security guys you have to have, and so on.
Because we don't want more money.
I don't know about heartless, but certainly it does create difficulties.
Look, we'd all want more money. I mean, no one's going to say no. We don't want, and the idea that perhaps you can look after yourself and your family and provide some sort of security without the worries. We'd all sign up to that. But the thing that always baffles me, Jonathan, when if you get to go drive around parts of Mayfair, for example, and Chelsea and Kensington, you see these enormous, beautiful palaces, and people live there, but they've got bars on the window. That's not a life. Well,
it certainly wouldn't be a life for you and me, but let's face it, they get to do other things that I might suspect that you and I don't get to do, such as, off the top of my head, if they feel like it, they can go to Los Angeles on a whim's notice and go to an Elton John concert. We couldn't do that because that's, £20,000 just like that. So there's lots of things they can do, but certainly if that's the way they live for 300 days of the year, I don't think it's something that you or I would want to do. I know I wouldn't.
Jonathan, thank you as always, sir. Jonathan Davis, economist and wealth advisor.